So, update 11 has dropped for Hell Let Loose. I have played only a little bit of it so far, maybe a couple of games, mainly using the shotgun. If you haven't seen my shotgun video, check out the link in the top right corner of the screen. But let's just go through the changelog for update 11. I'll give you my thoughts on the changes and let's see what else they've added or changed for the game. So first up, they've synced the resource generation. So how resource nodes used to generate nodes is whenever they were placed down, they would generate resources 60 seconds after they were placed. Nothing wrong with that. But now they've changed it so every resource node will generate resources at the exact same time. I'm not sure what time that is in the game, probably just on every minute. I don't know why they've changed it. I don't think it needed to be changed. Yeah, there's got to be some reason there. They've temporarily removed the final stand commander ability because they think it's a bit too overpowered, I think, so they need to rebalance it out. The encourage commander ability now only generates additional resources provided by nodes, so I guess it used to generate resources based on capture locations as well. You can now spawn medium and light tanks on the commander abilities, and the heavy tanks have been increased from 400 fuel to 600, and the Jumbo 75 has been increased from 300 to 500. Halftracks have been added to the game. Now, halftracks are basically mobile garrisons, but for the garrison side of it to be active, you have to stop the vehicle and turn off the engine, and it then generates that side's or faction's radio noise, whether it's actual radio chatter or the Morse code from the Soviet side. And it's going to be interesting to see how these half-tracks affect the new meta, because we still have red zone garrisons. Initially, I thought they would take away red zone garrisons to use half-tracks instead, but it's going to be some time before these half-tracks are used in a really great way, or something is thought about how to use them, some sort of tactic. The Panzer IV has been added to the German side. This is their new medium tank, and because of this, they've taken away the Panther tank. This is going to be rebalanced and reworked, and then it's going to come back in at a later date. No idea when yet. I maybe expect it to come back in update 12 or 13, but no idea yet. The bomb and runs now actually do radial damage to light armoured parts of vehicles, such as recon vehicles and tank tracks. What I think this actually means is that if a bomb and run bomb doesn't land directly on the vehicle, I think if it lands to the side of it, its damage radius will actually damage those parts of the vehicle now. A new visual effect has been added to when a tank's engine is destroyed. That's just to let other players know that that tank is pretty screwed. But I guess you're going to really know if a tank's engine is damaged anyway, because it's going to be going at a snail's pace. The damage of recon vehicles has been dropped from 400 to 200. So I'm guessing that's the main gun has been reduced. So this is making recon vehicles less effective against tanks. So really, as a recon vehicle, if you want to do any damage to a tank, I mean, even before update 11, you sort of need to get around the back, but this is making recon vehicles less effective against the tanks. Now onto some new weapons. So yes, the shotgun's been added for the American side. To use a shotgun, you need to be a rank 3 engineer or assault. With the engineer kit, you do get your satchel charge, and with the assault kit, you get smokes and frag grenades. I'm liking the shotgun at the moment. It's fun to use because you can just insta-give people and blow them to pieces, like I do a lot in my shotgun video I said about earlier. But in terms of its effectiveness, it's not really that effective. I mean, yes, you can one-shot people at about 50 meters and one-shot people at close range, but so can an M1 Garand, SVT-40, G43, STG, BAR, I'm guessing the FG42, but I haven't used that yet. So really, most of the other weapons in the game are better than the shotgun, but it is fun to use. So yes, the FG42 has been added to the German side. You need to be an automatic rifleman rank 6 to use it. That's the 20 mag variant. And the scoped 10 mag variant has been added to the German sniper kit for level 3, which surprises me a little bit because the Soviets have the scoped SVT-40, which is rank 6, and I'm guessing the FG42 kind of works exactly the same as the scoped SVT-40, where it's a one-hit kill up to 200 meters. I will be doing guides on these 3 weapons on the channel, so subscribe if you haven't already. So yeah, I'm just surprised it's not rank 6 like the Soviet one, because it can be quite powerful. The power of the AT guns that the anti-tank guys can place has been increased. This allows them to penetrate heavy armor depending on the right angle that they shoot at the armor at. So it's just making them a little bit better. So I kind of expect AT guns to get used a little bit more now. Bazookas and Panzer IVs can now deal radial damage to trucks. So I guess this is where if you don't get a direct hit, you hit the ground or something right near it, it can do a little bit of damage to the truck. So with a slight loadout change to the German and American anti-tank role, they've swapped around the level 3 and level 6 loadout. So pretty sure the level 6 loadout was the role that could build the anti-tank guns. And I think it was a mistake putting it at rank 6 because the guns need to be used a bit more, especially for the Soviets. So putting them in rank 3 is a great choice. Now onto some gameplay and features that they've added or changed. They've put some more filtering options and improvements into streamer mode. I don't use streamer mode. I don't care, to be honest. I don't even use the map overlay. I don't think I've ever had any problems with stream snipers. If stream snipers have been sniping me, then, well, they must be doing a bad job because I haven't noticed it. One thing when you try to place down a deployable while you're already at your build limit, so for example, let's say you've put down all your barbed wires. If you put down another barbed wire deployable, it's going to destroy your oldest barbed wire, and I'm guessing that's going to work the same for every deployable. So just make sure you don't go over your limit because some of your stuff is going to get destroyed. A microphone testability has been added to the audio settings, which is great because I know a lot of people have problems with their microphones. So hopefully this can actually tell them if the mic's working or not before they jump into a server. And thankfully, bullet penetration has been fixed across a bunch of assets across the game. It's not saying that they fixed everything, but there are situations, or have been situations in Update 10 where you've been shooting through a fence to kill someone, but then on another map, there's another fence which blocks all the bullets. So hopefully that's more consistent. They've added some variations to the offensive maps. So for Purple Heart Lane, you can now attack from the German side. On Foy, you can attack from the American side. On Hill 400, the Germans can attack. And on Karatan, the Germans can now attack. I think they're going to be doing this on every single map in the game, even if it's not historically accurate. But it's good in my opinion because it's just adding that extra sort of content, really. There's been a number of HUD and UI improvements to the game. So they've added nameplate occlusion, and this is off by default. If you turn it on, all the names and the little blue or green icons for your team, if you cannot actually see those people, their names and little dots will be hidden. So this really helps to clean up your screen, like I'm going to show you here, where you have it off by default, then turn it on, it just removes so much stuff. I haven't played around with this a lot yet. It could lead to some friendly fire incidents because you're going to be probably not more aware, but you're going to feel like you're going to have to be more aware just because you cannot see where all your friendlies are at once. So you may end up shooting some friendlies when you go around a corner. I'm just going to play this a bit more to see how good it actually is. There's a Friends and History tab added to the Enlist screen, as well as a last played on date for servers. If you play on a server, leave that server, go back to the browser, you'll see underneath it an actual date when you last played, which is cool. Some extra keybinds to the UI when you're inside a vehicle. They redesigned the invalid spawn location notification. Critical player indicators for medics will now pulse, and will pulse faster as the player has lower health or reaches death. I can't comment on this yet because I haven't played as a medic, so I'm guessing when you're playing as a medic, the friendly icons, or when they're dead, it's going to give you that visual indication of if you have a bunch of dead people, which one you should revive first in case, someone's going to probably bleed out. So there's a good little change there. Enemy role and unit information has been hidden on the scoreboard. I thought this was a bug when I saw this initially in game, or that I was playing against a team that everyone was just not playing. I'm guessing this is just to help, hide what they could potentially be doing. How many tanks are they going to have? Stuff like that. How many snipers have they got out? I think it's a good change for the competitive scene because you can't just see what squads the enemy has and just automatically change your composition to counter it. So I think it's a good little change. AT gun map icons now rotate on the map based on direction. Yeah, that's fine. Updated a number of commander ability descriptions. That's okay. Added a ping animation to the player icon on the tactical map to assist in identifying your current location. Yes, so when you open up the map, there'll be like a circle that will come out from where you are, just to help you actually see where you're on the map. I hope this goes to the consoles very soon, because I know a lot of people are finding it hard to actually see where they are on the map. And they've changed some of the gameplay settings menus into subcategories to make it easier to navigate through. So we've got a bunch of sound improvements to the game. There's audio occlusion to all the in-game sound effects, so I think this is going to change how sounds are rendered based on whether you can see the origin of those sounds or not. They've improved the distinction of single-shot sound effects when firing certain weapons, and they've also added sound effects for when a vehicle's component is destroyed. So we're talking about the tracks, engine, turret, hull. And one thing I really noticed straight away is that when a bullet flies past you, that sound effect, they've tweaked that and now it sounds a lot better. And the sound effects for the following weapons, the M1 Garand, the Browning machine gun, the M1903 Springfield, that's the sniper rifle, the MP40, STG, and the MG42 have all been updated. And the first thing you'll see when you boot the game up after putting update 11 in is the animated character poses based on the weapon your character is using. I mean, it's a decent little touch, really. It's no huge thing. And then we have the bug fixes. There are an insane amount of bug fixes, not just in the game, but also on the maps themselves. I'm not going to go through all of the bugs that have been fixed. I'm just going to go through a few of them, ones that sort of stand out to me. One is the sniper rifle sometimes fails to auto chamber around. So I've been playing sniper a hell of a lot, and this annoys the hell out of me, so it's good to see that that's finally fixed. So sniper scope reticules wouldn't move while crouching or moving while in ADS, so you would have this sort of static JPEG of a reticle in the middle of your screen, and you would sometimes see the reticule actually move outside the scope of where the scope's bouncing around, so that's been fixed. So the Soviet anti-tank rifle, the PTRS, you used to be able to destroy OPs and garrisons with that, and I think many people thought that was a feature of the gun because, like the bazooka and Panzer IV, they can destroy them, but apparently that was a bug, and now the anti-tank rifle for the Soviets cannot destroy OPs and garrisons. That is actually quite a big thing because, with the other two factions, you could just be, not saying 100 meters away, but quite a fair distance away and see a garrison and just shoot a rocket, blow it up, and potentially kill a bunch of people when they spawn in. And the Soviets are losing that at least long-range ability for infantry to destroy OPs and garrisons. So that is quite a big, bug to be fixed. And yeah, that's my highlights of the bugs. I mean, there are tons of bugs that have been fixed. And I'll put a link to the full patch notes down in the description below. So if you liked the video, give it a like, dislike if you didn't. Stay tuned for the channel for more Hell Let Loose news, tips, guides, gameplay videos and streams, plus other multiplayer first-person shooter content. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on the next one.